What's up, my producer friends? It's David with another monsterproductions.com. Today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm actually going to be doing my first official plugin review on this channel. This is going to be more like a walkthrough tutorial. The plugin that we're going to be taking a look at today is a lo-fi plugin. It's called Bad Tape by Denise Audio. Personally, I love lo-fi plugins. As the name suggests, this particular plugin is trying to simulate some of the bad characteristics of tape. Which in this case, bad means good. So saturation, wow, the sort of wobbling in and out of tune, shake, hiss, squeal, various other artifacts that you're going to get messing with tape. I've actually got this project that I've been working on specifically for this tutorial. It's a very simple little lo-fi hip-hop beat that I made. All we have is a kick, snare, hi-hat, some lo-fi hiss down here, and then we have a sub, a piano chop thing that I made, and a couple other instruments down here. So just so you can go ahead and hear how everything sounds now, let's go ahead and take a listen to this. Okay, cool. So in this video, I'm going to show you what the bad tape sounds like on the instruments that I have going on the drums, on the sub, and then on everything together. But what I want to go ahead and do is show you what everything does in this plugin, and then I'll actually start putting it on some different elements in this track to show you how I might like to use this plugin. All right, so let's go ahead and see what the wow sounds like. So it's that stereotypical wobble in and out of tune characteristic that you get with tape. Now the good thing about this plugin is it does give you the ability to change the speed, so that definitely comes in handy. So we also have this shake, which is essentially the same thing as the wow. It's just a faster in and out of tune. So let's take a listen to that. So I like to use the shake and the wow together, a little bit of subtle shake and wow to kind of give it a little bit of extra flavor. To me, it sounds like this plugin has a little bit of randomness in there. It doesn't sound like it's just a sine wave doing the exact same wobble like you may hear in some other lo-fi plugins. So I don't know if that's 100% accurate. It just, to me, it sounds like it has a little bit of extra randomness in there. Next to that, we have our hiss, which is just noise. We do not have the ability to change between different types of noise in this plugin. It's just one type of hiss, but it's a pretty good sounding noise. Next to that, we have our squeal. Our squeal is also affected by the speed. It changes the pitch. Next to that, we have our harm, which is essentially like a bit crushing effect. So that can be a pretty cool effect to play with as well, and will definitely come in handy depending on what you're adding it on. Next to that, we have a detune, which is just a button that you can click, which will sort of allow it to go out of tune for a second. Let me go ahead and demonstrate that. And you can hold it down for a long time and have it do the whole like do thing. So down here we have an input. By default it's at 0, but you can turn this up if you want more input volume going into the plugin. Next to that we have a mix, which is a dry wet mix. So by default it's at 50%. So if we bring it all the way up to 100%, it just means that you're getting a lot more effect of all of this stuff. So it would be coming through a lot stronger, a lot louder. Next to that, we have an output, and by default, it's set to -6 decibels as opposed to 0. I believe the reason for this is because of the saturation, which automatically gives it a little bit of extra volume. So the saturation is set at 50%, but we'll talk about that in just a second. So down here, we have a color option. If we bring it to the left, it makes things sort of duller, dimmer, warmer. If we bring things to the right, it makes things a little bit brighter, but not necessarily like harsh bright. I'm assuming that this color has something to do with EQ, but it's really cool the way that it colors the tone. It just sounds really good in my opinion. And obviously, depending on what you put this plugin on, you may be able to hear the difference of that color a lot more. So next to that, we have our saturation. The saturation on this plugin is really good in my opinion. I've actually used this plugin just for the saturation alone a couple times, and I just think it sounds great. We already talked about the speed. This plugin does have some presets which we can mess with, which we can scroll through by doing these things. So that might be fun to experiment with. You can also load presets with this button here and save presets with this button here. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and actually add this bad tape onto the instruments and just kind of see how that sounds in the context of the mix. Okay, cool. So I think that sounds pretty good. Let's go ahead and do a quick before and after. So I may have gone a little over the top with the wobble there, but I think it works for this lo-fi hip hop track that I'm doing. Let's go ahead and add this onto our drum bus. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and do a little before and after comparison. All right, so next I'm going to add this onto my sub bass here. Just gonna see how this sounds. I actually want to solo this just to kind of hear what's going on. Sounds pretty dirty. I think that sounds pretty decent. It's kind of sitting in there pretty nice. Let's go ahead and add this onto our master channel here. think it may be a bit much because I've already got so much of it going on all these other buses. What I'm gonna do here is, let me take this off of these. So I think it does a pretty good job of kind of gluing all the sounds together and making them just sound more cohesive and just really adds a lot of vibe. If you guys are interested in getting this plugin, it is available online. Right now it's on sale on the manufacturer's website. I'm not sure how long it will be for, but if you click buy right now, it's 20 euros, which comes out to be about 22 US dollars. You could always check on Plugin Boutique. It actually just came off of being on sale on Plugin Boutique. It was like half off, I think. Originally it's $55, so you could get it here for that if you wanted to. You could obviously look around, see if you could find a better deal somewhere. I think this plugin's pretty cool. Shout out to Denise. I think they did a great job with this plugin. And I hope you guys liked the video. I am going to be doing more of these videos in the future. And one thing I'm going to be doing is working with companies who are willing to give out licenses of this for free to some of you guys. So we'll have some sort of competitions or giveaways in the future when I do some of these reviews.